Hello, beautiful. How are you today? Welcome to another Thursday Live. This is Thursday Talks with Suzanna Kaye. I'm Suzanna Kaye, professional organizer, if you don't already know me. Well, as you're hopping on, I see that there are already people ready and raring to go, which is wonderful. So as you're hopping on, let me know who you are and where you're joining me from. I see Peggy's already here. Sadly, Peggy says that she's finally back from her sister's funeral. She drove 2,631 miles in 8 days, and that's exhausting. That is exhausting. I'm so sorry, and such a tough reason to drive for that long. Hopefully you found some silver linings and points to enjoy along the way. If nothing else, at least time with family. But I'm so sorry. I'm sending lots of hugs, but I'm glad that you're here. And Eloise is here. She's sending lots of love to Peggy, which is awesome. I love how you guys love each other so much. You guys are amazing to each other. So as you hop on, let me know who you are, where you're joining me from. Eloise says, good morning. Good morning, Eloise. So today we are talking about one of my favorite topics. You've heard me talk a little bit about this before, which is gratitude. Sorry, I've got this one curl. One curl, there we go. Gratitude. I'm grateful for that curl. Gratitude and how it actually helps you stay organized. One of the things that I find when I work one-on-one with people, whether it's a virtual session or back when I used to work in home with people, was the mental side that you bring to your organizing and just your daily life makes all the difference when it comes to keeping your home organized or getting organized. So that's why I talk about the mental side so much, because if you've got a negative mindset or if you have some mental blocks happening, some recurring phrases that you say in your head, the negative self-talk, then it's going to block you from being able to get and stay organized. So it is absolutely essential. And gratitude is one of the easiest ways to start on that healthy organizational mental path, which I love. I see Karen's here. Welcome, Karen. Good to see you. And Wendy's here from Oregon. And Lori is giving Peggy some love. I love it. Hey, Rita. Rita says, thank you. I love your talks. The inspiration's inspiring. And I love seeing you again, too. Thank you. And another Rita from Boston. And Peggy saying her husband actually drove all but a couple of hundred of those. My husband does most of the driving too, and I'm so thankful for that as well. It's just nice. I don't mind driving, but it's nice not to have to. He's a good husband. Hey, Miranda from North Carolina, and Peg's here. And Dave is here from Albania. Awesome. So glad to have you all. So as I mentioned, the reason why we talk about gratitude. Oh, and really quickly, before I go on, if you are getting the text messages, then you probably got the text message link saying that I'm going live. When you click on the link, if you click the text underneath the image portion, then it will open it up in YouTube so you can actually comment. So if you only see just the video and there's no place to comment, that's because you clicked the image. So just a heads up. And if you ever wanted to get those reminders, then you can text the phrase exactly as it is, events, and the number 1 with no space in it, to 407-214-4420. And then I'll shoot you a quick text message before I go live, or if there's a special event, all of that good stuff. And I'll put that up again at the end as well. All right, so the reason, like I mentioned, that I talk about gratitude regularly is because it is the easiest way to start on a new mental mindset path that will help your organizing, whether it's papers or clutter in your home or simply organizing your day and your life and all of the to-do things. It helps absolutely everything. And there are several reasons why it helps. So gratitude, first off, you know what? Let's talk about what is gratitude. I should probably start there. So gratitude is simply reminding yourself to be thankful for moments, things, anything, any feeling or writing or verbalizing of thanks, of truly feeling grateful and blessed, however you want to describe it. That right there is gratitude. And it can come in any form. We'll talk about some easy ways to add simple gratitude into your day without making it like a huge, long journaling event. We'll talk about that towards the end. But Being grateful, having gratitude is simply basically acknowledging and feeling the thankfulness for your environment, the things you have, the ways you feel, anything at all you can be grateful for. You can even be grateful for the times when you don't feel grateful. You can go that far. But that's what gratitude is. And one of the ways gratitude helps when it comes to organizing, whether that's organizing your home, clutter, papers, or organizing your life, to-do lists, and just that overwhelming list of things going on in our head of things that we need to do, or all the shoulds of how we should be. All of that. Sorry, the puppy is wound up today. I'm gonna shut her up. But all of those things, she's so distracting. All of those things, we need energy for it. Like, we need energy to handle a barking puppy in the background without losing our minds and being able to stay focused because the neighbors just got home with their puppy. We need energy and all of that mental freedom to handle our to-do list and all of the things that are on our mind and weighing us down. We need energy to complete our processes. So, after doing a project, we still need the energy to finish cleaning things up. So we need all the energies in order to be able to be successful in all these areas. And gratitude, when you're feeling truly grateful and thankful for whatever it is that you're thankful for, increases your energy level. Now, the reason it does this, gratitude it actually literally affects your physical form. So when you're truly feeling grateful, you tend to stand up or sit up straighter. And you tend to hold yourself more confidently and more open to the world. Your chest opens up more. Physically, I don't know why. It's like the mental side of it affects us physically, and that opens us up. Now, when that opens us up, that also opens up our airways. So we can get in more oxygen. So our breathing becomes more effective. And when our breathing becomes more effective, then more blood with oxygen gets into the brain. And then we have more energy and we can think more clearly. So it has a physiological way that it actually increases your energy. Now, when your energy is increased, not only do you have the energy to complete the tasks, including putting things away or do one more thing on your to-do list, but you also have the energy to have more willpower. Maybe if there's something that you're struggling with that you don't feel like doing, then having gratitude and having that extra energy, the physical energy, the mental energy, will help you push through to do what you might be putting off. Not only that, but it helps you to see alternatives. So when you're in a negative mindset, you tend to narrow your focus. You narrow your focus on whatever that negative thing is. So if you're in a bad mood and your day's just been one bad thing after another, like the puppy is barking in the middle of your live presentation, you could focus on that. And then you're really hyper-focusing, narrowly focusing on that, all the bad things. Well, if you can flip that and increase your positive mindset through gratitude, the easiest way is through gratitude, then you can see more opportunities. You can find solutions a lot easier to what's going on. You can see alternatives. You can see efficiencies. So maybe you're doing a task. If you are in a positive mindset, you're breathing better, you have that open energy, then you can see, there's a way that I can get this done faster. You can see more logic. You can be more realistic. You can realize when you're looking at your to-do list, oh my goodness, I probably don't even have to do that thing. That can come off the to-do list. You can see alternatives. Maybe you thought you needed to do something one way, but then you see, oh my goodness, this would work also, and it would be much easier. And you can find those opportunities. Opportunities seem to come to us when we're more grateful and open and positive-minded in the world. Well, they have always been out there. It's just when you're in a negative mindset, you're so narrow-focused, you don't see them. So when you've opened yourself up with that positive mindset and you're more connected to the world and open to the world, then you see the opportunities that are out there. And also, one of the great things is When you have those tasks that you've been putting off, a lot of times they're fear-based, whether it's putting off starting a decluttering project and actually cleaning up maybe that guest room or the kitchen counter, or maybe it's handling some of the paper tasks, going through that box of papers, or actually doing your papers in your to file folder within your action file. Most of the reasons why we put those off, it's based in fear. Fear that it's going to take too long, fear that you won't know what to do with the item or what to do next, fear of what you might come across. There's so many fears that come up that we don't even realize are there. But when you're practicing gratitude and you're in a grateful mindset, then fear cannot live in the same place as true gratitude. So that will help kick the fear side out, and you will find that you will procrastinate so much less. This is really important for people, especially caregivers. If you're so busy, 24 hours a day, it seems, caring for somebody, and you have no time to work on certain projects and move forward with the things that you need to do, a lot of times just taking that moment for gratitude every once in a while will help open it up. You can see opportunities, efficiencies, you can have more of the energy, and then you can get the blocks out of the way to at least make little baby steps on other things that you need to do. So just remember, first off, that gratitude increases your energy. Physiologically, it affects you, which increases your energy. Mentally, it opens you up because you're not narrowly focused. So you can see all of the alternatives and the efficiencies. So that is the first part of why you would want to practice gratitude and how it helps with organizing. Now, really quickly, I wanted to see who else is here. I think I already said hi to Miranda. I see that Peg is here, and Dave. I saw you guys before. Hey, Thomas. Thomas says hi, beautifuls. Nancy's here from New Jersey. Oh, yes, Peg. I'm sorry. So one of the things that I was planning to actually mention next, she says that she clicked for the gratitude worksheet and she got the gift planner worksheet. I'm so sorry. So I screwed up with today's free worksheet. I promise that by the end of today, I will have that link working for the gratitude worksheet. But I totally forgot when I was putting this together that I had included promising a gratitude worksheet. So I did not finish putting it together. I did my rough first draft, but I never finished it off because I forgot that I'd actually put that into the description. So that right there was me being in probably a narrow mindset and not really stepping back and taking those moments to just breathe. But by the end of today, I promise I will update that link, and that gratitude worksheet will be at that link. So thank you so much for pointing that out, though. Yeah. Hey, Beverly. And Thomas is waving to Nancy. Kathy's here. Yeah, Alyssa, several people said that they got the gift planner worksheet. Yeah, so sorry. I promise I will. I'm grateful for you telling me. Eloise says so true about what I was talking about. And she says that this talk is helping me so much. Thank you. You're so welcome. That's awesome. Alyssa says, I'm putting off all that you mentioned, plus putting together my Thanksgiving list. Yay. That's fantastic. Having Thanksgiving planned out ahead of time is such a relief. It's wonderful. Thomas says, I just spent an hour with my old toxic big mama right now. Impossible to be grateful. I need forgetfulness right now. LOL. And you know what? Forgiveness is a form of gratitude. And sometimes, when we are faced with a situation or a person that are difficult or challenging in some way, that are not going the way that we want, sometimes we just need to focus on the fact that it's a certain limited time period, maybe that you were with her. Now you're not. You can be grateful for going back to your time, your life in your way without that energy being around you. You can be grateful for some of the things that are positive about her. Sometimes it's really hard, but it can help kind of flip things around. So it's not such a heavy weight. It doesn't solve the problem, but it helps shift the mindset a little bit. And sometimes you can just be proactive in setting boundaries with, how much time you're going to spend or what types of time. Or with my family, there were times where we have very different opinions on some things. So I had to tell them, when I'm visiting, these are topics that I'd prefer we do not talk about because we simply don't agree on them. their topics, it was usually politics was one of the main topics because we have very different political views, and that's okay. Nobody knows who's right or wrong politically, right? So I'm not going to change their minds. They're not going to change mine. So I simply set the boundary of, when I'm around, let's not talk politics. And whenever politics would come up, I would politely say, I'd prefer if we did not talk politics, but if you want to continue, I'm just going to excuse myself and go home. So there are some ways to set those boundaries, but reframing the way you think about it can help too. And that takes practice. It's not going to be an overnight thing, but just finding like one thing that you're grateful for, whether it's about her or grateful for the parts of your life when she's not around that you can embrace and feel more open to. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Hey, lady, good to see ya. Paula's here, and Janice says, thanks, you're so welcome. And another Paula. Yeah, Karen says, always forgiving mistakes happen about the worksheet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lady says that her week has been like that, right? We have weeks like that, right? No problem, Thomas. I hope to talk to you later. Hey, Lori. Lori says that she needed to hear this message today as I looked around my house at the mess in every room, not sure where to begin getting it under control. I will absolutely address that in just one second. That is perfect. Kathy, about the download, she says, that's okay. We'll gladly download both. Thanks for the bonus. Absolutely. And Lori, I will also post the link for the gratitude worksheet. You won't need to reopen the full link for today's talk. I'll post it in the comments, but I'll also post it in the Facebook group. So hopefully that'll help. You're so welcome, Sylvia. So back to Lori really quickly before we go on to step number 2. Lori was talking about needing to hear the message because she's looking around the house and not even sure where to begin getting it under control. Usually where I begin, I first begin with gratitude, actually. I sit there and I'll talk about, in point number 3, I'll talk about some ways to be grateful that are super easy that you can use to get started on the overall mess. But I would start off by being grateful for what you do have, what is under control. Be grateful for the things that you do have, the fact that it might be a mess, but how blessed are you that you actually have all of these things to the point where you have an abundance of these things. The more that we can be grateful for what we have, the more we can actually let go of the things that are in the way of what we truly need. So that's helpful too. So maybe just taking a moment, it will help increase that energy, get that oxygen going, get that blood flow going, get that positivity going. And once you're in that more positive mood, I say whatever area will make the biggest impact for you, either physically or mentally. So an example of that would be if every room in your house is cluttered and overwhelming and stressing you out, maybe you need a mental break area. So you might want to find a bedroom or a reading nook or your sitting area. Where do you go to escape and refresh? That might be the area that you start with. So that maybe, we can't get it all under control in one day, but maybe you can have a respite. Every day there's one place that you can go that is calm, nurturing, under control. So that way you can go back there, if it's your bedroom, then morning and night, you're falling asleep in a peaceful area. Even if it's one area of your bedroom, not the whole thing, but the area that you sleep in around that sleeping area where you can mentally escape. And that will give you the energy to be able to go back and conquer the rest one little bite at a time. Or maybe it's a reading nook. Wherever you sit at night, wherever you can escape and read a little bit. Maybe it's the bathroom where you like to take a nice long hot bath. If you need to, just give yourself one place where mentally it will make a big impact for you. The alternative is wherever will make a physical difference for you. So if everything is overwhelming and you know that you need to start cooking for Thanksgiving, and if the kitchen is not under control, then you physically cannot, then that might be a great place to start, because that might be the place that's stressing you out the most, because physically you need that to be in order so you can do what you need to do. Or it might be the office, or it might be, just your entry area. Maybe you keep losing your keys and your purse and everything. Maybe having all of that Organized so that's efficient is going to make the biggest impact right off the bat. And just do little tiny chunks. So don't try to do the kitchen. Maybe try to do the kitchen counter. Or maybe try to do, just the stove and prep area. And then take a break. And then do, maybe 15, 30 minutes at a time back and forth. And then, practice that stillness and gratitude in between. And that is really helpful. So very good question. She says, thanks. You're so welcome. Alyssa says, Lori, I'm with you for that. Messes everywhere. You guys, you're not alone. Most of the people in our group start off with messes everywhere. And that's part of the process. I mean, you wouldn't be here enjoying each other's company if it was all completely under control. So you're going to get there one step at a time. Yeah, Peg says, just making the bed makes a big difference for me. Yeah, it's that mental thing, right? It's that mental side of things. So we already talked about how gratitude physically and emotionally increases your energy, and it helps you see alternatives, see efficiencies, logic, alternatives, and opportunities. The other thing that gratitude does, people can sense when you're a grateful person and in that spirit, and they want to be near you. And you might think, that's great, but why do I want people to be near me, right? Why do I care? Well, when people are drawn to you and want to be near you more, then that opens up more opportunities. Maybe as you have that grateful spirit, if you go to church or your women's group and you're in that grateful spirit, people are drawn to you, they want to be near you more, then maybe all of a sudden somebody says, you know what? I'm starting an organizing business and I need a first client for free who will just write a review. Could I practice with you? Or maybe they say, you know what? I happen to need help organizing too. Do you both want to hop onto a video call and work side by side organizing so we don't feel so alone? Or whatever the opportunity is. There's all sorts of opportunities that come up, right? And they seem to come to us without us even looking for them, things that we would never think of. They come to us, but that's because we are in a state, we're standing up taller, we're breathing better. Usually it shows in our face. We seem happier. We seem like someone that somebody would want to be around. People are drawn to that and opportunities come and then they want to be near you. Not only that, but one amazing thing that I heard on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, and I don't know who said it because it was one of the compilations. They don't always say who's speaking each time, but one person said, gratitude is worship and worship is gratitude. So it doesn't matter if you're specifically a religion or you just believe in some positive energy, whatever that positive energy is that you celebrate, worship, connection to that spiritual side is increased with gratitude. So if you're spiritual, then when you pray, prayer is not about just asking for things. Prayer is about thanking for things, saying, thank you for the blessings. More, please. It's okay to say more, please. This is wonderful. Keep it coming. But the whole essence of spirituality and that connection with whatever positive energy you believe in, God, universe, whoever, all of that is about gratitude and connecting. And you can connect and worship better with a grateful heart. So that is the second reason why it helps. So with organizing, when people are drawn to you, then those opportunities come. And when people are drawn to you, then you can get help. You can, you just have that overall support system behind you. Even if they're not physically there, there's that support system behind you. All right, so a couple of comments. Lori said about Peg said that making the bed makes such a difference. She says, you're so right. Learn from Fly Lady. Yeah, you gotta love Fly Lady. She's good. To get dressed head to toe and make the bed every day. Done today. Yep, she also says, clean the kitchen sink. Clean kitchen sink makes such a difference. Fly Lady's really good. Suzanne says, these thoughts are perfect for me. That's wonderful. I'm glad. Yay. Katrin says, I have a lot of gratitude that you have the purpose of helping us have a better life with lots of techniques that increase self-esteem. I have gratitude that you have created a community of people eager to get new habits and support each other doing so. Aw, I'm so grateful for hearing that. And these are the types of things that when you're open and grateful, people feel open to share with you. And hearing feedback like that, that's what keeps me going. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. All right, now really quickly, if you've not already subscribed to the videos on YouTube, then you can do, I believe I've even got a sample of what it looks like. So on YouTube, there's a subscribe button. Which way is it? It's backwards for me. You hit the subscribe button. And on Facebook, I'm just going to hide my face. In Facebook, you can go to the little 3 dots and change your follow settings. And then you're going to make sure that when you're on my page, I should say, my page, Spark Organizing and Productivity with Suzanna Kaye, change the follow settings on my page. Make sure that you're getting me in your favorites and that your video is set to notify. So, and then you'll click update at the very bottom. That way. I'll get used to that one day, right? I think. Anyway. All right. So number 3, let's talk really quickly about some ways to practice gratitude. So this is all well and good, but how in the world do we even practice gratitude? It sounds like one more thing on your to-do list, right? And it is one more thing on your to-do list, but your to-do list will be much easier if you add this one quick thing. So one of my favorite ways, and this is something that, with gratitude, you will find you will not be good at this all the time. You're going to find times where you forget to do it, and then times where you're really rocking it and you're doing really well with it. So don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself and feel guilty if you aren't consistent, especially at first. But one of the great ways to do it that I try to make sure to do, I even have a little note next to my bed, is notice and curate, specifically choose your first and last thoughts of the day. So your first and last thoughts of the day, such as in the morning. In the morning, this was also on the Super Soul Sunday. She pointed this out, and it's so absolutely true. In the morning, a lot of times we wake up and we think, first thing, we think either I didn't get enough sleep, or I don't want to get out of bed. I got great sleep. I'm so cozy. I don't want to get out of bed. Or you think about all the things that you have to do. Whatever it is in the morning, whatever your first thought is, that's setting the tone for your day. So instead of I didn't get enough sleep or I don't want to get up, change it to thank you so much for the rest that I got. And I would not say sleep. I would not say thank you for the sleep that I got, because sometimes we won't get enough sleep. And we have to acknowledge that, but we always get at least some rest. So thank you for the rest, because you can rest with your eyes closed without sleeping. Thank you for the silence of the morning if you have silence in your mornings. Thank you for the warm bed. Thank you for this moment where my body is being refreshed and rejuvenated and healing itself. As we rest, your body's able to start healing and preparing for the next day. So first thought of the morning, write it on a little note next to your bed if you need to, tape it to the ceiling over your bed, whatever you need to do. But first thought in the morning, think thankfulness. What are you thankful for? Thankful for, I'm so thankful. I'm going to have a great day. No matter what's on your schedule, I'm going to make it a great day. And then your last thoughts at night. Don't think about all the things you didn't get done or all the things you have to do tomorrow or what didn't go wrong. Think about what you did do. What did you get done? Because that's a long list too, and we forget about it. We're so focused on what we didn't get done that it has to roll over to the next day. We don't take time to focus on what we did get done. And if you're part of my text messages from the Paper Path membership, then you will remember sometimes I ask you, what did you get done today? We focus on that in the Path membership frequently. Focus on what you did complete, on what did go well. Maybe your last thoughts of the night, pick, the 3 things of the day that were happy highlights, good highlights. Maybe it's even if you had the worst day ever where you spilled your coffee and the dog had a mess on the floor and all these things. Okay, well, the highlights are, at least when I spilled my coffee, the mug didn't break. At least when the dog went on the floor, he went on the hard floor, not the carpet. You can find the 3 things that are the highlights of the day. Go through your to-do list. Instead of your to-do list, go through your done list. What things were done? So this first and last thoughts of the day, that last thought of the day, ending your day with gratitude will help you get more rest and better rest, whether that's sleep or just the quality of laying there and being peaceful. It will help you get more rest. So remember, the first and last thoughts of your day are the perfect time, and it does not take much time. So Sylvia says that she's grateful that on the 23rd, she will have been married for 58 years. That is amazing. That's a wonderful gratitude. And that's a gratitude that can happen anytime throughout the day. I mean, just the fact that you still have him around 58 years later is such a blessing. That's beautiful. Lori says, I have lots of dreams when I sleep. That's wonderful. And if you end on a grateful note, then a lot of times those dreams, you'll find those dreams are more positive dreams and more proactive dreams rather than the ones that keep you tossing and turning. So that's good. Frogso says, so grateful that I decided to read my email just in time to join this session. Yay! That's a wonderful thing to be grateful for. Love that. Karen says, I call the things I get done on my to-do list. Oh, I love it. I call things my woohoos, my woohoo list. Rita says that she loves Karen's idea also. Peggy says ditto. So that's one way to practice gratitude is choose your first and last thoughts of the day. Curate those because they make a difference. And no matter what mindset you're normally in, even if you were born with a personality type that leans towards being more negative minded, and there are personality types that lean more negative, and there are some that lean more positive. I'm sure you can guess which one I lean towards. But even if you naturally lean more towards looking at the more, it's not even negative, it's the trying not to be naive and really looking at all of the different things that are possibilities of what could happen. And a lot of times those happen to be negative things that, you're the canary in the coal mine type. You're like, guys, wait, I see this, and this could go wrong. Even with that personality type, that's okay. You don't want to change who you are and change your personality type because we do need those types of people in the world. They serve a very important purpose, but you can switch your outlook on the world without changing who you are with practice. And it becomes easier and easier. So if you are the problem and obstacle identifying type of a personality versus the silver lining personality, then it might be a little bit harder for you to really get into the swing of it. If you are the more silver lining type, it's going to be easier for you to get in the swing of it, but it might be hard to get in the habit and stay in the habit. So they say if you do just 2 minutes of gratitude over 21 days, so 2 minutes consistently for 21 days, then you will change the way you see the world. You will automatically start to identify grateful moments and it will just become easier. So it takes practice to be grateful. And one of the things that with gratitude, it grows. So when you first start a gratitude practice, especially if, like, I just went through recently a time where I call it meh, just felt meh, M-E-H, meh. Even had a shirt that said meh, and I could not get out of this funk. And the way that I was able to get out of that funk was I forced myself to plant that seed. I forced myself every day to start to think of, just throughout the day, I would simply think of things that I was grateful for. And I would, as I was doing the dishes, I'd be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm grateful that I have running water because, 200 years ago, this would be a very different thing. And at first, you don't feel it in your heart yet. When I was in my meh time, I did not really feel like I was embracing the gratitude. It did not give me that opened up feeling yet. I was not standing taller yet, but I planted the seed. And I kept doing that every day. I kept noticing the little times that I could be grateful for something. Occasionally, and I'm not very good at habits sometimes, but occasionally I'd pick up my journal and just write bullet points. So each day that I did this, it got a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And each day that I did this, I went from meh and I started to lighten up and lighten up and lighten up. And as you do gratitude, if this is new to you, you won't really feel so much different when you first start. But once you get going towards the end of that 21 days, then you will feel it. Not only will you physiologically feel it, the physical way that you hold your body will change and your energy, the amount of oxygen you're getting will change, but you will feel gratitude in your heart and you will truly start to embrace it. And you will literally feel that gratitude. And everybody holds it in different places. Some people hold the gratitude in their head. I hold it right here. Like I feel this whole area just filling up with gratitude. And when you get to that point, that's the point where just doing a little 2 minutes of gratitude can kick any fear out. And it becomes an amazing tool. But you have to practice in order to get there. So pick 2 minutes a day. Just 2 minutes, whether it's that morning first thought, that evening first thought. It could be 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute in the evening, and just do it consistently for 21 days. It's going to be absolutely a habit after a while, and it will change everything. It will change how easy it becomes. And then finally, I set reminders. Like when I was meh and I was feeling all ungrateful and disconnected and not inspired and not much energy, just so meh, I set reminders for myself. So on my phone, I just set a reminder to go off once every couple of hours. And every couple of hours, it would pop up on my screen. It would say, be grateful. And I would just stop and I'd think about, okay, well, right now in this moment, what can I be grateful for? And there's some things that you can always be grateful for. You can be grateful that your heart is beating. You can be grateful that your heart is still beating. I mean, my heart has been beating for 46 years without me having to put forth any effort. I mean, it does it on its own. I am grateful for that. If I had to think about doing it every day, then I'd probably be dead because I would have forgotten at least once over 46 years. So set reminders on your phone, put Post-it notes around your house, put a bracelet on that, whenever you see that bracelet, it will remind you to be thankful. Make it come to you. Make that habit come to you. Karen says, virtual hug. Aw, thanks. Alyssa says, I've started the 5-minute journal all about gratitude. Sometimes it's hard to find something to put down. It is. It absolutely is hard to find things to put down sometimes. And I have a journal that I sometimes write in. And when my stepdaughter first started coming to live with us, her mom leans more towards that obstacle view in life, all the things that could go wrong. And when she first came to me, then I noticed that she was very stuck in the more negative side, viewing the problems, not the opportunities, not feeling very positive, but her essence is a very positive person. So I could see just this anxiety building up in her and building up in her. And one of the things that I put on her chores list, her daily chores, was to keep a journal, a gratitude journal. And she has to write down 3 things every morning that she's thankful for. And it's so much fun to see. She started this when she was, 6, I think. It's fun to see what she chooses because you can be grateful for the smallest, most ordinary things. She's often grateful for food. She's a foodie. So she was grateful for steak and French fries. She was grateful for the dogs. So she wrote out, she's got 5 dogs between the 2 houses. So she was grateful for just each dog. She has been grateful before. She was grateful for her toy wand and her toy cloak, and something else, because when she goes to Universal Studios Harry Potter, then she won't look like a muggle, a non-magical person. So she was grateful for that. She's been grateful for so many fun things, but you can be grateful for absolutely anything. You can be grateful for your coffee. You can be grateful for the oxygen, for pants. I'm grateful for pants. I'm very grateful for pants, because otherwise I'd have to walk around the world in just my underwear, and I don't think I'd be comfortable. And I don't think you'd be comfortable if I did that. So pants are wonderful. That's a gratitude. Sometimes when you're struggling to find something to be grateful for, find something silly to be grateful for, like pants. And that will then open up all the other things that you can be grateful for. Because once you get yourself laughing and not taking it so seriously, then it becomes much more doable. So yeah, find something silly to be grateful for, Alyssa, and share it with us. I would love to hear what your silly thing is and see how that opens things up. But the 5-minute journal, yeah, if you sit down for 5 minutes, and what I do is I just bullet point. I just write, I am thankful for, and then whatever it is, I am thankful for Jeff because he drives whenever we go on vacations. I am thankful for gasoline for the car, to fill up the car so we can get places. All of those types of things. And I just bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. Yeah, Rita says you can be grateful that you hear your dog barking. And it's so true. I'm grateful that I hear my dog barking, because that means I can hear music too. Then if I can hear the dog barking, then I have the opportunity to hear music and things that are less jarring. You would think that she's a Great Dane, how loud she is. That's a good one. Kathy, Alyssa says, be thankful for the super simple things, a hot shower or warm one if you don't have hot water that day, or for 5 minutes of peace, etc. Yeah, be grateful that you have 5 minutes to do the journal. That's a good one. Alyssa gave Kathy a thumbs up. Lori says, I'm grateful for the beautiful fall leaves still on the trees and covering our lawn. Oh, I love the fall leaves. Absolutely. One of my favorite things I've seen recently was on a pillowcase, and I need to make it for my home. But it said something along the lines of, I remember the days when I prayed for what I have now. And really think back. I mean, there are definitely things where we wish that we could buy a house up north. I wish that I could I want to reorganize the craft area because it's just getting overwhelming and cluttered and not functioning as well as I want. There's all the things that we don't have. We want an RV. I really want to get an RV. But when I think about it, 20 years ago, this was my dream. This is exactly everything that I wanted. I wanted a job that I was passionate about. I had no idea that I was going to, become my own business owner and be doing this. I mean, 20 years ago, I still had a flip phone that only text messaged. But I mean, how amazing. I wish that I had my own house, because I was still living in an apartment that I could barely afford. 20 years ago, I wish that I had a car that was reliable. Now, not only do I have a car that's reliable, but it's comfortable and I like it. It's a wonderful car. And 20 years ago, my car, I think at that time, I probably still had a car where I had no bumpers and I was afraid it was going to die on the side of the road anytime. So absolutely. And I love that phrase. And that's something whenever I'm trying to remember gratitude and what to be grateful for, I think about, what do I have now that, when I was 20, that I would have been so thankful for? A husband who is wonderful and makes me laugh and caring and does so much. Nothing's perfect, but he's perfect for me. I mean, that's something to be grateful for. I'm grateful for the times when I was single and before I met him, and independent. And I had such a wonderful time being single and independent, and, all of my friendships and all the activities that I did, and having a house where I didn't have to clean up after anybody else. That was nice during the time that I had that too. So I'm grateful for it. Oh, Alyssa says that she's grateful for the sunset the other night. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, everybody just write in the comments. Tell me what you're grateful for. I love reading these because they all inspire all of us. Lori was asking Alyssa, I think it was Alyssa, to describe the 5-minute journal again. She zoned out when I described it. I'm assuming that Alyssa's 5-minute journal is similar to what I've done before with my journal. And it's for Alyssa uses the 5-minute journal by Intelligent Change. So I'm not familiar with that one in particular, but you can do the 5-minute journal. Just take 5 minutes with any notebook or even any spare piece of paper and just write bullet points. I am thankful for, insert answer here. I have a feeling that her journal is probably more guided, but you don't need anything guided. You just need a piece of paper or even your phone. Use the notes app on your phone and just write, I am thankful for, and insert the answer there. Lori says, how did he get the name Moon Pie? It's actually Moose Pie. Yes. So my husband got the name Moose Pie. He started calling me, I think he first started calling me Pop-Tart. Probably because, in the morning, I'm a morning person, and back in the day, I'd pop out of bed. I think that's where it came from. So I started calling him Moose Pie simply because he's from Canada, and he had these silly moose ear hat that he used to wear at Christmas for being silly, and it went along with Moon Pie, which is a dessert. So it just started being Moose Pie, and so I call him Moose Pie, and I'm his Pop-Tart. Yeah. Lady says, I'm grateful you do these Thursday talks. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. Paul says, I write in my blessings journal, which, blessings is a great thing to call it. Blessings, gratitude, thankfulness. Yeah. With my stepdaughter, Kayla, we call it her thankfuls. She writes in it every day, and I've added Suzanna Kaye. Oh, you inspire me and keep me on track. I look forward so much to our Thursday mornings and all of my other connections with you. Thank you so much, Paula. I love connecting with you each time. It's wonderful. Peg is grateful for having a reliable car. Amen, right? There were times I didn't have a reliable car and worried about getting home with a car full of frozen foods from the market. And that is so stressful, right? Absolutely stressful. Laura says, thanks, Alyssa. Karen says, my son just made me a grilled cheese because he saw me online and thought I might want an early lunch. What a great son. That's something amazing to be grateful for. I was just saying last night, I really wanted a grilled cheese. Becky says, I'm grateful for the reminder to be grateful. Yes, Kathy. Pop-Tart was my childhood nickname. Not at all sure why. Aw, kindred spirits. I love it. Lori, we have a local ladies band called the Pop-Tarts. They play 50s and 60s songs. I love 50s and 60s songs. Oh, that's so fun. What a great name. You're so welcome. Beverly, I'm grateful for cleaning up my house to enjoy it in retirement. Yes, right? And being grateful for the things you have, that helps you let go of the excess. And that's what it all comes down to, right? When we're organizing, it's about reducing the fears involved that are blocking us from getting the things done. And it's about reducing the excess around us. So a lot of times we're holding on to so many things that are just getting in the way of the things that we truly need. And when we're grateful for what we have, and we're grateful for even the process of organizing, and for the non-physical things in our world, like waking up in the morning and our heart beating and a son who makes us grilled cheese. When we are grateful before we organize, then it becomes so much more clear what things we truly need, and so much easier to let go of the things that are in the way, or not worry so much and have to keep them out in front of mind. It makes the whole process easier. So when you organize, before an organizing session, I encourage you to just take a couple of minutes, and you can do it in silence. You could turn on some peaceful music. You can turn on some of the Pop-Tarts band, 50s and 60s songs, whatever gives you in a grateful mind. But just take a few minutes and truly be grateful for the things that truly feel important to you. For the husband of 58 years, or the dogs that you can hear, the fact that you can hear the Pop-Tarts play their 50s and 60s songs, and then go into your organizing. And I promise, the more often you do that, the easier it will get to organize, and the more effective you will be, because you will let go of the stuff. It will all become clear. Because when we go back and we look again at what we talked about, the first step was gratitude increases energy and seeing the alternatives. So remember, when we feel grateful, like truly grateful, when we've been practicing it for a little bit, then we can suddenly see the efficiencies. We can see the logic and the alternatives and the opportunities. So as you're organizing, you're going to see things more clearly. It's going to become more realistic as far as what you really will use and what you're just holding on to. Because a lot of times what we hold on to is based on fear. You cannot have a truly grateful heart and fear at the same time. It's physically, mentally impossible. So all of those spaghetti jars that you're keeping just in case because you're afraid to let go of them, when you're truly feeling grateful, then you can step back. You can see, okay, I have 20 spaghetti sauce jars. Realistically, I can get by with 5. And then you're feeling grateful, so there's no fear of letting go of those 15 and just recycling them and keeping those 5. And the more you do that, the easier it gets. So remember that first off, gratitude increases energy physically and mentally and helps you see those alternatives. Also remember that when you are operating from that place of gratitude, when throughout your day, you're just finding a little bit of time, a minute at a time to notice things that you're grateful for, then especially if you're doing this every day for 21 days, then people can sense it and they want to be near you and they're drawn to you. And that's when opportunities come up. That's when you can connect with others and they want to connect with you and work with you and give you opportunities. Well, if you're shut down, then they're not likely to reach out. And ways to practice gratitude, remember, curate your first and last thoughts of the day. So curate what first thing you think in the morning. Be thankful for rest. Don't worry about being thankful for sleep. We don't always get enough sleep or restful sleep, or maybe some of you struggle with sleep, but we all can get some rest. So be thankful for the rest that you got. Be thankful for the silence of the morning or the birds chirping outside or the potential that you have for the day. Wake up with some gratitude, not with lack. And then before you go to bed, think about, be thankful for what you did get done that day or what did happen that was good. Find your highlight reel. What 3 things were really good that day that you can be thankful for? Today, when I go to bed, this Thursday talk is going to be one of the things. So think about what you did do, not what you did not get around to do with at the end of the day. And it will help you get that rest too and end your day on a good note. Practice. Just 2 minutes a day for 21 days straight can completely change your life as far as gratitude goes. You can get it to where you feel it in your heart each time. And it feels so wonderful to feel that gratitude. Those 2 minutes a day for 21 days can make it an easy habit. So you'll see things to be grateful for, and it'll be much easier to complete your 5-minute journal or whatever you want to do. It takes practice, but it's worth it. And then set reminders, whether it's using the reminders app on your phone, Post-its around the house, wearing a piece of jewelry that whenever you see it, it reminds you to be grateful. And gratitude does not have to be anything amazing. You don't have to be grateful for the most important things in life. You can just simply think about, when you were 20, what do you have today that when you were 20 you did not have, that you were praying for, and now you have it? You can be thankful for your coffee. You can be thankful for the leaves, the fall leaves that Lori has. You can be thankful for all of those. So let me know in the comments, which one of those 3 things will you try today? Which will you start trying today? And then also, if you wanted to hop into the store, I know that we have a couple of the webinars in there. I think the photo webinar is still up and expiring in a couple of days, tomorrow maybe. So that's going to come out of the store tomorrow. I think it's the photo organizing one, possibly. We also have the holiday planning one. If you've got that holiday planning gift guide, so that's where you can learn more about that. Let's see. We have, Lori says, did you look in my pantry? I have so many empty jars. You were not alone, obviously, right? Lori says, Susanna, I'm grateful for your enthusiastic and positive attitude. Seeing or hearing you talk always puts a smile in my heart. Aw, thank you. Kathy says, oh, Lori, you've been challenged. Kathy says, Lori, I'll throw mine away if you throw yours away. She's talking about the spaghetti jars. I'd love to see it. Beverly says that she's grateful for amazing sunsets. Kathy says, I threw a bunch of plastic containers away yesterday. Lori says this to Kathy. We reuse the jars that don't want to throw them out. I think plastic containers for a jar. I think that's a good swap. That works. So Kathy, she did it. Your turn. Roxana says, definitely will begin the 21 days of practice. Good. Alyssa says, that's so good. I have the apartment I always wanted. Yes. Well, thank you all so very, very much. It's absolutely wonderful to have you here. Remember, I will update the link for the gratitude journal worksheet by the end of the day. Sorry that I slipped up on that one. If you are a Path member, then at noon, so like right now, in 3 minutes, over in the Facebook Campfire group, I will be live and we'll talk about how to use this for your papers, for organizing your papers specifically, and some ways to implement that. So let's see. Kathy says, fine, consider it done, Lori. That's awesome. 7 jars just went in the recycle bin last night. Yay. Lori, I will restart my gratitude journal I started a few years ago. That's wonderful. Yeah, I keep mine by the bed so I can remember. Beverly says, thank you for this wonderful session. You're so welcome. Karen says, thank you for guiding us. Thank you all. Thank you for being absolutely amazing. If you enjoyed this one, give it a heart, like it, subscribe, follow, do all the things. And I look forward to seeing you. Next week, we won't have a Thursday talk because next week here in the US, it's Thanksgiving. Yay! So have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you're struggling with how to plan the meals or getting ready for Christmas and the mental side of that, make sure stop by the website SuzannaKaye.com and check out the store because the Holiday Planning Like a Pro webinar is there. And it's, I think it was a really good one and I heard great feedback. Everybody loved it. Oh, Paula says that she's been having trouble finding my noon live. So right now, the noon one, if you go over to the Facebook Campfire group, if you've already gotten your membership in the Facebook Campfire group, then you will see the link there. Each week, the link is there. Also, you could find the link if you go to your online library. So if you go to SuzannaKaye.com and log into your library, then you will see the events little section in your membership. And the link is always in there as well. So whenever you need a link or a replay, they're always in that membership section of your library. Thank you all so, so much. I love you. Have an absolutely amazing day and keep it up, beautiful. And Pathfinders, I will see you over in the Campfire group. It's going to be an amazing one. I love you, beautiful. Bye.